The most common and consistent question that medical practitioners have been asked by their patients through history has been, "What is ailing me?" And the pursuit of answers to that question is almost exclusively responsible for all the advancement in diagnostic treatment that we enjoy today. After all, the first step in successfully treating a complaint is finding out what the patient is suffering from. Laboratory services are a cornerstone of health systems and indispensable to global health security. Laboratory professionals must demonstrate their competence to carry out their responsibilities in this critical profession as a symbol of commitment to higher standards for quality patient care.
The importance of regulating this profession is to ensure, among other reasons, that the highest attainable standards for safety and quality of testing is happening through the practice of medical laboratory scientists in Kenya.
Clinical laboratory testing, therefore, plays a crucial role in the detection, diagnosis, and treatment of a disease.
When you are examining a specimen, it is a specimen, but it represents a person. A person who could be your father, could be your mother, could be your son, could be your daughter. That is what it means. And the decision you make there can have very far-reaching effects.
Medical laboratory services are thus fundamental to health systems, and the integrity must be safeguarded and continually improved.
This is a very critical role because they deal with human life. They handle human specimen, and they're supposed to diagnose and see that the results that come out from a patient are the right results, so that the right interventions are put in place by the professionals in the medical profession. Therefore, it is important for us to ensure that the right people are working outside there.
In Kenya, the Kenya Medical Laboratory Technicians and Technologists Board, KMLTTB, is mandated to regulate all in vitro diagnostics and all products to be used in laboratory science practice in the country. Regulation of medical laboratory practice in the country is a full cycle that begins from training. All institutions of higher learning offering courses in medical laboratory sciences must comply with standard curriculums recommended for various levels of training before they can be registered by the board.
We want to check to find out the level of competency of the graduate. Are they ready for the market? Are they ready to handle patients? Are they ready to do what is expected of them in medical research, industry, and all the areas that the medical lab personnel are deployed? So at that level, we provide a registration exam. As a board, we conduct professional examination for the various levels, just to assess competency levels, because laboratory is a skills-based, hands-on profession.
Upon admission to any of these institutions, the board further requires students to submit an application for indexing within 30 days following commencement of training.
Each student should have met our set requirements, and that card, so that a quack out there to differentiate them from a quack. Normally our students are indexed and they've gone through the whole procedure, but a quack has not. So when our inspectors go into the field, we know that this person has our index card, so they're indexed.
Indexing is important to verify submissions to ensure that students admitted to training schools meet the admission criteria for their program of choice. The index number they receive upon verification remains their unique identity throughout training and practice.
We normally index students, new students from institutions all around, and our approved institutions. Those are the students that we index. During that process, there are a lot of verifications that we do. We check results for the students to see whether they've qualified according to our set requirements of the board.
Like any other unit of medical practice, medical laboratory work involves lifelong learning. KML-TTB has made provisions for sustained capacity development for its members under the Continuing Professional Development CPD program.
It is necessary to have a functional body like this one, but not only functional, but strictly professional to the letter, to enforce the requirements of each and every aspect of its discipline. That is, people must come in when they have the required. They must undergo the appropriate training. They must be examined and pass the examination appropriately.
Under this program, the board has developed policy guidelines for the implementation of a mandatory, structured and coordinated approach to continuing professional development activities for medical laboratory personnel in Kenya. All medical laboratory technicians and technologists must be certified.
We want to be sure that we are not allowing non-qualified people or quacks to enter the profession. So the form is submitted to the Committee of Education and Registration, which looks at the application and approves. Once the approval is given, then the applicant is allowed to pay their registration fees, upon which registration certificate is given. And for them to practice, there's an annual license fee. So upon expiry of the licenses, the practitioners are supposed to visit the board and renew their licenses to practice. Without an annual practice license, a medical laboratory professional is not allowed to practice.
Those found working in medical laboratories both in private and public health facilities without this certification should be penalized in accordance with the law.
I would like to understand the processes that are taking place in this particular department. We'll look at the equipment, we'll look at the registration of the personnel that are working here. We'll also look at issues of quality control moving forward.
This is a Class F laboratory, which is a very sophisticated laboratory with a lot of sophisticated tests being done here. This lab is compliant, and the personnel who are working here are also compliant. So this is a model laboratory.
Other than the scrutiny of institutions of higher learning and competence of personnel, the board is also responsible for the infrastructural standards of laboratories. The set standards are based on the test menu and equipment classified from Class B to Class G. Following the enactment of a subsidiary legislation in 2011, the Kenya Medical Laboratory Technicians and Technologists Board is mandated to carry out validation on laboratory equipment, whether manufactured locally or imported into the country.
KML-TTB was mandated to validate laboratory equipment and reagents, including in vitro diagnostic devices, for quality, effectiveness, and safety.
It is important to have a machine validated based on those that are already in existence, so that because doing viral load is important in terms of guiding treatment, so you need to make sure that the machine that you're using is able to give you accurate results, so that people who are failing, who are having a virological failure, are supposed to be changed to new drug, second line of treatment. And if these medicines are not cheap, so they are expensive, so you must make sure that you're using an accurate machine that will give you accurate results.
At the ports of entry, experts monitor imports and verify the products coming in, confirming whether the quality of the equipment meets set standards, while also ensuring that harmful products are not brought into the country under the guise of laboratory equipment.
Right now we have diagnostic test strip. These are the documents from the importer. So I usually take the documents, come to the verification room. This is a verification area, and the cargo has to be opened. You have to verify, you have to make sure what's in this document, it is what is contained here.
any new in vitro diagnostic material, any product targeting to be used on patients, we must validate them. In many instances, we realize that people get misdiagnosis, not because our colleagues are incompetent, but because the tools of trade that they use in the lab to diagnose disease, some of them reagents, some of them equipment, some of them gadgets, which are called in vitro diagnostics, the quality of those products, the safety of those products were not being validated.
For the purpose of efficient service delivery and transparent management of resources, the board employs digital tools with excellent results. Dealers and distributors bringing in laboratory supplies have round-the-clock access to the payment platform, and an officer of the board is always available to ensure smooth running of the system and respond to any queries.
The IT department is the one that holds everything together. We are able to tell you who paid for what, who passed what exam, where they come from, because when they register, we're able to give you all the information. So without the IT department, it becomes difficult to put all these departments together, but the IT department now becomes the center point for the entire operations.
We have a website that is updated promptly every other time. We have the requirements that are updated there every other time. Then we have a WhatsApp communication where clients can be able to WhatsApp and we respond. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we respond to clients promptly. We have so much positive feedback that we've received from clients in so many ways. Referrals, clients can be able to tell others that I went there, I was served within 5 minutes, and they come here expecting the same.
Medical laboratory practice in Kenya is today an efficient first line of defense, protecting the public against diseases and other health hazards. Working in collaboration with other arms of the nation's health system, it ensures that the public health is provided with quality clinical diagnostic testing, disease surveillance, environmental and radiological testing, emergency response support, applied research, laboratory training, and other essential services to the communities they serve.
We don't only deal with clinical samples, we also deal with environmental samples and public health of importance and surveillance.
These are results of sustained efforts to establish quality controls and provide legal framework and an institution to protect them. The Kenya Medical Laboratory Technicians and Technologists Board remains committed to the highest standards of the profession and to quality patient care.